Okay, hello everyone. We will be continuing. Phoenix Wright. First game. Case 5. I believe we are in day 3. I think we are in day 3. Okay, yes, we indeed are in day 3. Okay, let me just... Okay, yes, that's the right one. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. Yeah, we were in the middle of, you know what, I don't remember what happened. Oh yeah, Meekins was on the stand, right? And the whole video was sus as hell. Okay, allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. This guy who's obviously involved. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Why is he allowed to have alcohol in the courtroom? Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman! As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You are in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. I don't think he's capable of that, Your Honor. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. What the fuck are you talking about? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. So you're just admitting you didn't do your job? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Could say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. How do you not get held in contempt for that? Hey, wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? It's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Okay, let's review what evidence we have. What fingerprints we have? Okay, yeah, so that's an issue. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos and nothing that aren't useful when the time would come, I'd erase a tape. Nothing unusual is recorded. Tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, It felt like I was erasing a part of my life. Okay, this is kind of ridiculous. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that's yes, so you're just admitting you don't do your job. That you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. Afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. Okay, so Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck to the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, I can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. Yeah, I don't know how the heck he's not fired. Yeah, if I was in the street side saloon. No, you weren't. What were you doing in a place like that? It's eating spaghetti. I don't think spaghetti's the type of thing you get at a saloon, but okay. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongole Sepia pasta. Did I say that right? Isn't Vongole... Isn't that like a swear in Italian? Oh, I think that's with an F instead of with a V. I forget exactly what that word means. I just know it's a swear in Italian. The Italian kids in school taught it to me. I mean, I know stunad is stupid. Yeah, Vongole. I think that's it. Okay, can any Italian viewers confirm or deny? I mean, or Italian Americans or descendants of Italian Americans that still know the Italian swear words. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says. Did you not want a raise this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the... No. Oh, no, crap, I didn't want to do this again. I wanted to throw out the... That's what we need here.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. In it, you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Wasn't real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Oh, there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. My chance to prove it. I wonder if we can pull out the tape at this one. Oh, right. Okay, this is... Fix my camera. Okay. I'm just gonna press them on everything and then try to figure out where I could use stuff, and then if I don't figure it out, I will check the cheaty guide. It's because you, how'd you put it? Pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right, that and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. One of them just same places. So then what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. Murder touched the locker where my fingerprint was. Chance. Or it was you? Chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. I don't know where you're getting this. I ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Let's see the fingerprint. Unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. I wonder if those were two Japanese words that sound the same but have different, different kanjis. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. I mean, yes, you can be a serial killer, but there's also, you know, serial publications. You don't have to take it to murder. There's other meanings of serial. Okay, he's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. On a gumshoes locker. There were no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. It's the only logical conclusion. Picture. The seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. As long as my trail isn't there, you can't say otherwise. Okay, well, I'm sure that... I believe we have to use the tape in order to... We have to confront him with the tape. I'm just checking the cheaty guide to figure out where we confront him with the tape. The murderer was wearing gloves. Okay. Okay, yeah, we do have to pull out the video, so let's see. Press Marshall on the statement. Too bad it wasn't me in that video. Okay. by that, you want to tie me into this crime, isn't that right, partner? So, that video is the only direct evidence you have. That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Yeah, like the dude who's security. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Yes. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. The days are short, but they're closer to the equator. Okay, no, they're not that close to the equator, but I mean, like, they're like closer to the equator than like states in the north are. I don't know, man. When I was in Texas, days felt hell long. But I guess that's just because it was really freaking hot there. Like, man, I don't know how people could live there long term. It's way too hot in Texas. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? But you get so many words and colorful vocabulary. Okay, very well. You can clearly be seen in the video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, that white cloth, it's gone. Go 90 miles per hour on the highway in some parts of Texas, probably to encourage you to leave faster. Yeah, okay, I do remember that. Like, I think the speed limits out there were like 70 in the place I visited, but my friends who live there said everybody literally goes way faster than that. But yeah, I don't know, but you know, they move there for better economic opportunities. But I think it's too hot. Even if I were looking for better economic opportunities, I don't know if I'd move there because it's really hot. It's so hot, it's horrible. Okay, what's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So, what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Yes, it does. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Where's the thing explaining how the lockers work? No, that ain't it. That ain't it. That's not it. Yeah, there we go. Fingerprint sensor. I mean, unless you got an identical twin. I don't know how he had the knife allowed in the courtroom, to be honest with you, because I know there's usually security before you go into courthouses. We talked about this earlier today. Also, that length of knife is illegal in Japan, like just to have on you. I think it can't be like longer than 2 inches or something. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Okay, he has jerky now. I mean, I can understand him having jerky. I only got one word for you, partner. No! Order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. I mean, you were committing the crime, right? Oh, wait, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Oh crap, wait, no, victim, killer. He was one of these, let me... I forgot if it's Meekins or the other guy who's the... Okay, they said choose V. Okay, here we go. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! And we know this guy has a knife. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective, unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain. Once again, why are you not being held in contempt of court for this attitude? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Are you going to help us out? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Get outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer... Okay, I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. I think it's the jacket or something he was wearing to, like, hide the disguise. So what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Big Love Falls. Yeah, you can't be walking around with blood on you in a police station. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, you were only half as persistent then as you are today. We all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Just borrowing a few bags from the evidence room, I swear to return it. How can you return all the drugs if the drugs get consumed at the party? Although this case isn't about drugs. Or maybe it will be. Maybe we'll find out. Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? There was a knife. Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, give us more details about this. When you say it, you mean... Yeah, SL9. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. Come on. Stop doing that. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why Why'd you disguise yourself as Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. That's not returning it! The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. Okay, so essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean, the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out like yeah, man, why the violence? You pulled a knife on Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? So, you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. False 3D printed fingerprints. I mean, I'm sure they have stuff like that in James Bond movies. I mean, or, you know, similar types of spy movies. They probably have stuff like that. I think identical twins are supposed to have identical fingerprints, or those are the only people who have identical fingerprints. It's, yeah, just identical twins. But I think even then there can be differences based on, you know, like injuries or other things that may have happened. And I also know that there were people who would, like, burn off their fingerprints. There's, like, chemicals people can do to burn off fingerprints so that, you know, they, like, worked for the CIA or something. It's pretty bad, though. So, you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. I mean, I agree with that. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. I mean, assault. Assault with a weapon. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. You're in Japan. Not America. What were you saying in the original? Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Cut in salary? No, you get fired for this shit! Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. Witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Yeah, I'm gonna press you on this. Tell me why. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, we still don't know. Oh! Okay, no, wait. This is Goodman with the stolen card. So that's not Goodman. This Bruce Goodman is what's-his-face entering, is Marshall entering. Who entered at 420 with all the 7s? Who the heck did that? That. Lost item. Oh, that was the thing from the... You know, I'm checking the guide. Oh, assault, breaking and entering, impersonating a cop, evidence tampering. I mean, he is a cop, but he's impersonating a different cop. So I don't know if it's the same level of crime if you're already a cop and you're impersonating a different cop. Because you're already a cop. Versus if you're not a cop and you're impersonating a cop, that's different. So this is more about the identity. He's doing it for the identity, not for the purposes of impersonating a cop, because this guy's already another cop. I mean, breaking and entering. I mean, he stole the ID card, but like he didn't break anything to enter in there. It just happened to be empty. Evidence tampering. I don't know if he tampered with, because they said the evidence was already taken except for that glove. Let me see. Marshall's confession. Okay. Let me see. Did I press him on everything? Okay, they said I was supposed to... Okay. Present SL9 incident files on the statement. I just can't get it. Okay, no, give me this. Okay, yeah, we did press you on everything. Okay, so we're gonna go to the last one. Autopsy. Man, there's too many items in here. Okay, this is... No. Go back. Okay. Here we go. That's what we gotta present. Let me see what's in here. Victims. Oh, Neil Marshall. Oh, he knew the guy. He knew one of the victims. Okay, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Okay. Okay, we're presenting this.
Objection!
Sir Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? Very, very well worded, Edgeworth. If a little bit unempathetic, there's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it. I ship Naramitsu the hell of it. Wait, Naramitsu. Who do we have in there? No, it's different than the default yaoi. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Yeah, Mia is cool. I enjoy her. Kind of sad she got killed off first one, but I do like that she comes back every now and then with her psychic powers. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one, which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection!
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. No, there's still mysteries? Like what were the things in the locker specifically, and what about the broken vase? We didn't find the piece for the broken vase. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Objection. I rest my case. Obviously, objection is the single word here that we can raise. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. It literally didn't prove Lana guilty. It just proved that that thing didn't happen at that other location. Okay. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Okay, yep. Hold its 2 words. Okay. Your Honor, wait. Emma? The defense has an objection, a scientific objection, right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian? How'd she just get into the witness chair without, like, bailiff stopping her? Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. I feel like this is going to take longer than a minute. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Well, I mean, I'm supposed to say yes, obviously. It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Yeah, I'm gonna object. Objection! I don't know what the problem is, but we'll figure it out. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Oh, did I just screw up? Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let's pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. There's evidence here. There's gotta be something I can use. The question is, what item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? It's the mascot. He was there. He was blocking the camera. Obviously, yeah, and I think it was in front of the blood area. That locker, too. What about that piece of plywood? No, the floor plans aren't in the wrong direction. It's that the badger was missing because the badger was like blocking part of the camera view. I wonder if 3 days is enough time to get a blood test processed and what trying to rush science will do to test accuracy. I have absolutely no idea about how long forensics would take to do that, but I know like lots of tests they can complete in a couple days. So, the Blue Badger mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So, watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. So that means, just exactly what does it mean? It means it can't be done! What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Obviously means they were there before or after. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Or after. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time... Yeah, he's blocking it. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Objection! It's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murderer really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Only one piece of evidence that can show this. Now then, let's present the evidence. Oh shit, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to hit, it's gotta be the timesheet. It has to be the other ID card to get in there. I'm just gonna check before I present that I'm right. Oh, yeah, present ID card record. Okay. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. Only one other card number remaining. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room, since there's no record of his card being used beforehand? He must have entered a long... Yeah, I was going to say he went in with a second person. That's the only plausible explanation. Man, I know other places where you have to use your ID card to enter. It's like protocol where they're like, everybody has to enter, has to tap their own ID card. You can't like hold the door open for other people. He went in with 777. Please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is all the sevens. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher, someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. That's some bullshit. Objection! But that's ridiculous, just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid, she's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777. Oh, don't play me for a fool, partner. It's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence... See? That's what I'm talking about. No! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. Conclusions would have to wait till the following day. Okay, to be continued. Okay, I need to get water, and then I will be back. Okay, back. Yeah, okay. No. Oh, did we not save? I thought I saved. Episode 5. Okay, yeah, here we go. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. She literally just said this and we're getting flashbacks. I didn't know. Never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Stark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. Didn't see that coming. Happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together when she finished her work. Then, suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. What'd you see? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Yes. But I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Something that's been puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning, you mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detectives' offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Just from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? It's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. You know what? I don't think that's how it works. I don't think it works that way. But okay. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? The evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. Couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. Two years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Investigation lead was Damon Gant. Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What'd you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant. He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed! But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Okay, let's travel. Okay, let me go refill water again. Yeah, I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Etc., etc. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why'd you do it? Water prospectors head west. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. It was fishy about the trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. Question. The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. But the facts have been concealed with forged evidence. That case left behind scars on all of us. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Hey? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. He mentions that Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret, it all started 2 years ago. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out about in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Let's go back in here. Can we talk to the cop? Okay. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. Okay. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to Chief's office. Why does this dude have a full-ass organ in his office? What the fuck? How do they even get this in here? These things are huge. Why does this dude have... What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, well, where am I? In the chief office. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Okay. I never could remember where C was. That's the first thing they teach you! Middle C, girl! Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. Put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence that you were also involved in? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? Ah, that's the weird vase thingy that we found broken. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. Can't quite seem to put my finger on it. Dude, it's the broken vase with the blood on it. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office... It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. At the same time, we'd still like to have a look around. Oh, wait, why do I keep doing the wrong voices? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? A way we can get inside? Yeah! Let's go here. Let's see where the detectives are, but we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in here. Let's go talk to Edgy. Edgy Wedgy. Okay, he's not here. Show her the picture. Okay. Back, let's see. Can we investigate this? Okay, I guess we can't investigate this. It's just that's the same vase, and this is still broken at that point in time. So we know this thing was still broken 2 years ago. Anything else sus around here? Yeah, I can't find anything else. Maybe you've seen this before. Something related to that other incident. Okay, that's... Okay, well, I don't know what to do now, so I'm checking the cheaty guide. Okay, we talked to Lana. Sure we talked to her about everything. Okay, we talked to her about everything. Okay. Police department. Yeah, we talked to him about all that stuff. Okay, we got the criminal criminal affairs department. Let's go there. Okay. Talk to Gumshoe here. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. I'm sitting so long. Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. It sounds serious. It's because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye's the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise up to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir! Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat. Yes, sir! You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay? Yes, sir! It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while coffee was brewing. Seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack. His final attack, you mean? When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory. Okay. Joe Doc was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take the serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident, then he killed a lady who saw it, then a kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then, a jogger came up to the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily, Doc was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. Last witness. Okay, I said show him the murder weapon, which is here. This. Hey, is that? Has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. Why am I doing? Okay. I need to pay more attention to speaking. Frozen. Unfreeze. Unfreeze. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? Before you forget again. I've seen that jar somewhere before. Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Where could I have seen that before? Okay. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess at where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. It's pretty conclusive. Where, though, you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? But Emma, shut up. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Okay. Let's save this. Okay, that doesn't work. I'm just gonna look up what I should show him. I can't figure it out. Present the knife to Gumshoe. Okay, move to the high pro. Okay, now they're just saying Edgeworth should be back, I guess. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. Well, what are you doing here? Sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. Yay. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. It's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know. I mean, that evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility, as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. I take pride in my work, so tell me why? Why has it all come to this? Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First, last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Let's present this. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes. The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding is a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. Story? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection! Those claims contradict each other! Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredited them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Could you tell us again about what happened the day of the crime? Oh. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. It's a story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right. Okay, I'm checking the guide again. Okay, oh, we gotta examine stuff, okay. Okay, this is to examine this. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Let's see how this goes. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what the girl's doing crawling around my feet. Didn't even look. What letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... How can we be gay in court if you resign? I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please. You have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Okay, we go back to the parking lot now. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Okay. Yeah, you know what? This is weird. I like that she's pointing out that this is weird. Because yes, milk is weird. See, human milk is for humans, and I don't think ancient peoples discovered milk by, like, doing weird stuff with cows. I think it was rather they like, killed the baby, and then they, like, found, like, milk in the stomach. I think, like, that's how they first discovered, like, you know, cheese-type stuff, because, like, the stomach would have, like, sort of pre-digested it. So I think that's some of what would happen, but, yeah, no, milk, I think people didn't really start having milk until animal domestication. Then they killed the baby, and then, oh, the animal still needs to be milked, either the goat or the cow, and, you know, you'd milk it because you killed the baby, which isn't good. I'm not a fan of that. Anyway, milk is weird. If you're not a baby cow, cow's milk is not for you. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana, it all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall. Though must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister. The best of the best were put on the SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. You don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. So, Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. Take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall? When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Let's show you the picture. Check. What we got next? Okay, do we show her anything? Move to the Criminal Affairs Department. Okay, so there's nothing else to check. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files, turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. Not letting you in the chief's office, period. Be my neck on the line. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Okay, I cheated. We show him this. Let's see what it says. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice, too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. You can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. All right, Detective, thank you. I mean, didn't he say he, like, lost his ID card, like, a whole bunch of times anyway, so... I mean, he could just say he lost it again. Here goes, Mr. Wright. All right, let's check out this shit. Oh, we got a safe. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? ID crushed and rendered unusable. Hey, don't do that to my card! I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. Strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. Told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk. No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. Nah, there's no way. Never mind, don't worry about it. Okay, now let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on! Not so fast, buddy! Oh, what is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to stop bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Oh, okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? I thought he was suspicious from when we first met him, yes. Dude, sus as hell. I mean, you look like a One Piece villain. What can I say? There you go, ignoring me again. Okay, it's safe. We can touch it later. Bro looks like old Don Flamingo. 7-digit number. Birthday. Maybe it's the bunch of 7s. The armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. Chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes! Oh, okay. Emma's a libertarian, I guess. You don't have any taxes to pay. Be careful with what you say. No, the chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Get it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. It's pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor... First, the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window. Really, why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh, stained glass or not, it's a huge window. SL9 incident. Hold on, detective. What'd you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long. That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. Yeah, he said the same thing. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Let's go look at that. Oh, what was this? I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. Did you find something? Can't make it out. I'd better keep quiet about it. Oh, no, that must be her drawing. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. It's so bizarre. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears. Okay, it's an instrument of punishment. There's some Ganondorf shit. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's besides the point. Okay, let's, Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. It's the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Ever since making detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. So as long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that! Okay, there's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park. Oh, I guess that's a picture. Why would she leave the picture there? There's Lana's desk. Does Lana ever come back here? No, Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of. Let's keep it in memory of her, memory of the crime. Very, very sus. Check that. Yeah, let's get a better look at this. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Doc. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? Let me see. I want to try putting 777 in the case. Okay, yeah, let's try putting 777 in the case. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Yeah, obviously it's this dude's ID card. He's sus as hell. Alright, what's in here? Bingo, what number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? Number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean... that ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing, that's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Let's check inside. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Like, it's a... Yo, it's the other fucking piece of the cup. Okay. Somehow looks... Dude, you literally have the rest of it in evidence. You're a moron, Phoenix. Okay, there's something else in here, too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Piece of cloth with a handprint on it and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I just can't let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Okay. Let's see. I remember when 3 of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one that was in the safe? Yeah, that one. That was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Let me see that. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Oh, we gotta rotate it. There we go. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line. That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? 'Cause he did it. And now we need the relevance for the cloth, which I'm guessing is this. It's the one that was wiped away. guess that's not it. I'll show you the glove. Okay, I'm cheating to see what I'm supposed to show him. I mean, the vase was obvious. Oh, fingerprinting set. Okay. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, detective. All right, go to town. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. Talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Jeez, where's your sense of humor? Okay, I guess that's what we were supposed to do. Right, okay. Well, that's a partial, which they can still get. Alright, here we go. This'll work. Oh, hello. Let's see, is this? Why is this not good enough yet? Filling in all the little dots. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, it's not your finger. No. Nope. Oh, it's hers. Okay. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Seems the prints are too... What do you... Stop giving bullshit. They aren't... No, they are. Freaking tell her. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey, you over here. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. I'm assuming that was back from 2 years ago. Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. And I was walking to my meeting. I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean, Me, sir. Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID card on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir. Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way out too, then. Wait, you. The one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright! Don't leave her! What if he kills her? Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. I see, so Chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple days is absolutely nothing, not a single useful thing. It's a load of bupkish, Jerry! Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion, a certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Miss Skye? So obvious it's that dude! Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. Take it she's still not ready to spill. Okay, my apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes. Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other. Name again. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Let me just double check what I'm actually supposed to show her. Yeah, the evidence. Okay, what's this? I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong thing. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly expect me to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman? Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. A murder weapon, you mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why'd you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible, so you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Drake Marshall. Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you, but Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Nope. I'm pursuing this, sorry. Down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Okay. Okay, so we will save. Okay, so I gotta get a little bit more water. I will be back in a minute or two. Yeah, all right, we are back. Let us continue. This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. Been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Believe it or not, Lana isn't at home. Where could she be? Believe it or not, she's not home. And where's Emma for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. Truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Court's now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, prosecution's ready. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Sus as hell. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. You don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Some bullshit. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana!
Objection!
You can't, Your Honor. The defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Okay, who's gonna bust in and object? Is Edgeworth gonna help us out? Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Someone's, yeah, okay, yep. One moment, Your Honor. Yeah, it's our boy! Okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. Well, why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to... I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, It would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you. Right, Chief Grant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. Your occupation would be student. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. Sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross. I'm just looking up what to do because I don't feel like screwing around. Is this? Okay. Okay. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. Lights, it was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. The electricity went out. Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything. Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. Detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Yeah, let's hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Picture, yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Yeah, no, ask about the picture. I think we have it. This picture, the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Okay. Let's see. Evidence list. Okay. So just present this.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that, as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Yep, there we go. Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list, huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? Order. But Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. A minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable. It's possible. Let's see. Something wrong? You even have to ask. Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. This is the badger thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. Guess he was out of scrap paper. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Oh, yes, Your Honor. She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross. This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. Okay, let's see.
Objection!
Except, oh. Wait, what did I do? Did I just hit the wrong thing? Okay, whatever. I don't think I'll screw up again, that's fine. Yeah, okay, let's see. Did I hit the wrong thing? Okay, there's Neil's autopsy report. I hit the wrong thing! There's too many manila envelopes in there. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. But I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of the picture contradicts the autopsy report? Yeah, so the autopsy report said that he died from the knife wound, but I think that's the trophy instead of the knife. Yeah.
Take that!
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The victim was only stabbed once. Then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
Objection!
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection!
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection!
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. If you've forgotten already, about a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Back. Order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Yeah, it's... No, there is another one. This is on the trophy. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife, so please feel free to enlighten us. Let me just make sure to see actually what to submit. Because I'm going to submit the trophy, but... Oh, okay, they said show the team picture, I guess, because it's in the picture. That's where this crap gets confusing. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order, Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. His broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection!
That can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the king of prosecutors' award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, the man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Mr. Edgeworth! What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? List, the one with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Okay, this is wild. Certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross. Stop! Don't pursue this any further! Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. We gonna put Gant in jail. Okay. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Amnesia sure is yeah, sure. Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. I mean, very convenient for drama's sake, yes. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards the both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the badger. Okay, so what are we supposed to show now? Present the jar.
Objection!
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, it doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Oh shit, no I did it. I fucked it up. Okay.
Objection!
Okay, let's see, whatever. Even if they penalize me, I'm okay. I hit the wrong rotate button. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, I think it might be this.
Take that! Objection!
Okay, let me look at how we rotate this. Okay, I had it backwards. Okay. They're saying to rotate it so... Oh, no, wait. The blood has to be... Oh, no. It's... Nope. Let's do this. This way. Okay. That's it.
Take that! Objection!
What do you mean I didn't rotate it right? That's exactly what the guide told me to rotate it as. Let me go back to the picture of this. What the heck is this? Find that. Okay, let me try to get this exactly right. This is very annoying. Okay. Okay. No. Okay, this might be... Okay, let's try this.
Take that!
Okay, finally, that took long enough. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. No. Can't be. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw the jar? I'm cheating right now. Okay, the location. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection!
But the body was found lying near Lana's sky desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, The struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? Too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? A suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome's obvious in that moment. Assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Don't traumatize the poor kid. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented! It is accidental. What? What are you saying? I'm so sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago? The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. Certainly can't get dead people to testify. You need what's-her-face to show up. One of the psychic girls to come back. Mia or Maya. Okay, this has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victims left us a message. Better for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. One manner or another, that's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. Yeah. Not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek: truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Take that!
Message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. Blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent. Okay. Okay, this... I'm guessing it says Gantt, but let me look up how to connect these dots, because this thing's confusing. Okay, the guide shows how to connect dots. Oh. How the heck do we connect this? Oh, here we go. I thought it would say Gantt, but...
Take that!
That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Well, people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Sky. See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gantt, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What are you talking about? Years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection!
Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Did you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, and ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Okay, it seems like there's a decent amount more stuff, and I'm kind of hungry, so... Man, but this is gonna be short. I can finish this... I can finish this on Saturday, like... I am hungry! I want to go get food. I'll try to find a good place to pause. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on? Okay. Everyone's freaking out. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Okay, perfect. We will save here, and I will continue on Saturday. I thought I would be able to finish it tonight, but I'm really hungry. I need to go get dinner. It's like, it's getting... Oh, no, where the heck were we? Oh, 6:23. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can save over that one. Okay, so final day. All right, so thank you everybody for watching and commenting. I will maybe continue this Saturday. If I don't consider this Saturday, I will continue it probably next Monday. I don't think I'm going to be streaming on... Don't think I'm going to stream on Sunday. Yeah, so I don't think I'll stream on Sunday. May stream on Saturday. Yeah, so I might stream on Saturday, but Thursday and Friday, I will be starting Final Fantasy VII, the original one. So very nice and blocky and old graphics, and the original one, not the remaster that is actually a sequel and not really a remaster. So again, thank you for watching today, everybody, and for commenting. Have a great rest of your evening or day or afternoon. Bye!